Welcome to In the Oven with Brad and Adam. All right, what are we going to say?
Oh, all right. Well, so there's a conspiracy about the color blue, and I thought about it because I have a blue shirt on and the blue, about lasers not being able to burn the color blue.
Really?
Or these direct energy weapon lasers.
Okay.
All right, so there was that, and I know a lot of people died, right? I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm just trying to wear my conspiracy hat here. Those fires and stuff that happened in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's like, and of course, they're just the umbrellas and the various other things, but there's a lot of like fabrics and houses that are made of blue material that were still standing.
Okay.
Okay. There's other stuff. Well, dang, and I don't know where it was. I saw it on the Ninjas or Butterflies podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
They pulled up another fire, and there's people like walking around taking videos of the wreckage, and there's like all kinds of blue structures still standing. It's like, huh? And then they clipped over like a video of, and I'm not sure, I did all the fact checking I did was watch this, right? So it's the internet. But they were shining this laser, on these different colors, and it was lighting them on fire, and on blue is just sitting there. I don't know if it's a green laser or a red laser. I know light reacts certain ways, and certain, so plants can't absorb green light and stuff like that. So,
Interesting.
Sleuths out there, tell us.
That's interesting. I think I saw some of that podcast because you were talking about it. There was one about how this guy took all these pictures of the moon, and it had rust on the moon. And the rust was from something called, is it hematite?
Hematite.
Yeah,
right.
And hematite is only, gets that rusty color in the presence of air and, water.
Yeah,
or
it's like iron, kind of.
Yeah. And so that's, the first, that's kind of weird. But then it goes into, scripture, and it talks about how before Jesus comes back, the moon will be covered in blood, is what they said. Yep. And when you translate blood from Greek, I think it was.
Right. It's hematite.
It's hematite.
It's,
So
hemoglobin, all that stuff comes from that.
That's crazy.
It is. It's gnarly.
And that was from the Ninjas or Butterfly guys.
Yeah, dude. I like those guys. They're silly, but they cover some serious stuff, and they run a very serious business in the background. They don't really talk about it on their podcast, but they do a ton of screen printing and all kinds of stuff. So
okay.
It's cool to know that, some bros are out there getting it on like us,
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
we'll
have to probably start finding some random facts and start throwing them at you in the middle of the podcast.
Why not?
So, yeah. So we have some great news. We don't know exactly when, but I asked some questions and people said, when is Fat and Weird Cookie going to be in stores? Well, the great news is this week we're rolling out with DoorDash.
That's right.
So we'll be much more accessible. I think it's 140 locations. So I would say in the next month, DoorDash, if you have DoorDash near you, you should be able to type in Fat and Weird Cookie. And this isn't Dash Mart, this is DoorDash.
I know that's a little confusing, y'all. We've gone over it before, but Dash Mart designed very quick, speedy, 15, 20 minutes. I don't know what their total line is, but it's, get your groceries quick. So they have a 15-minute, 15-mile, whatever it is.
15-mile radius, yeah.
Radius. DoorDash, much bigger and in other locations, so similar names. Anyways, it's 140 locations, but it's actually a lot more territory for us.
I think it's 50-mile.
Yeah, right. So it's 140 different locations with larger territories, meaning more density in between there. So anyways, it's a lot. It's a lot.
And then on another note, the Myers order, which if you've been following us for a while, we were making the Myers order back in November, and they were supposed to pick up in December, and then logistics fell through, and then the buyer didn't work there anymore, and there was just issue after issue. However, the Myers order is officially out the door. It is with the distributor who is going to take it to Myers. And so I talked to Christian today. He said in the next 30 days he's hopeful. So let's just be we'll be a little bit conservative and say by the end of March. We should be in Myers locations. By
really both of our birthdays. We're going to say, yes, let's go.
Yeah.
Birthday present.
Yeah, that'd be great, actually.
Hell yeah, it would.
So that's one of the questions I got asked, and that's just kind of some things that have been going on.
What else we get asked?
Well, we had someone ask how to build long-lasting financial freedom.
Oh.
And I think first I'm going to say that really depends on how much freedom you want,
That's
right? There's levels to everything. Do you want the freedom to just pick and choose when you work? Do you want the freedom to never work again? Do you want the freedom to fly private?
Yeah, and what's that lifestyle look like?
Yeah.
In all levels, right? So,
because I know there's some people that have worked for like Google and stuff like that have made, they like have $1 million now, and they retired, and they're willing to live off of the 4% interest or 5% interest on the $1 million, which
40,
is only
50 G's.
Yeah, $40,000-$50,000. But that's their lifestyle. They're going to live at that amount.
Well, I mean, you know, if and again, it depends. If you say, I mean, well, I don't know, because it doesn't resonate with me. If you are still capable, you should be doing something. And maybe that something doesn't earn you money. You can have plenty of cool hobbies and stuff like that. But like, if you got a free day where you're just kind of sitting around doing nothing, you could probably have a part-time job. And then, man, I think 50 G's a year would give just about everybody the freedom to go, you know what, I hate this job. I'm going to go find a better one.
Yeah.
Or, you know what, like, man, I just don't. I'm going to go. I think that's real freedom right there, but I don't think it's freedom from,
Again,
to me.
levels,
you know?
levels.
Yeah, levels, for sure. For sure.
So you have some advice on this, and I think that it's can be hard for some people to get involved in real estate.
For sure, man.
So
if
if you're a new person starting out, you only got, let's say, $20,000-$30,000 saved up. How can you get involved in real estate, or can you even get involved?
I wouldn't. I didn't. Yeah, no. Well, okay, I take that back. Here's what you could do. If you're a business owner, you could take whatever you can, take that capital, buy the property that you're operating your business out of, possibly use your business to hold that note, hold that property. Then you are effectively building wealth through appreciation of the property. You can depreciate the property, you can get the tax bennies and all that other stuff that everybody's looking for.
My parents own their property.
Absolutely.
That their business is. I own the property.
Yeah,
this business
and then when you go to cash out, you know, you got business value. Suppose, you know, assuming you have business value, you also have a real estate value, and sometimes the real estate value is very high. We were able to acquire all the Sonics we were able to acquire because the real estate value was so high on them that we could sell them out from underneath us with a slightly higher lease and get the businesses for basically free.
Right.
If you got $20,000, $30,000, you're going to have to work the hell out of it. The less money you have, the more you're going to have to work the hell out of it.
More you're going to fill the gap.
And I would say that, like, you might, depending on how long it took you, if it didn't take you that long to save up that $30,000 working your current thing, I'd probably go work that hard at my current thing and get $200,000, $300,000, because now you've got a small position in a large piece of real estate. The stuff that all through working and developing equity positions in businesses and selling those, we were able to amass some money. But the positions I have, I do some flips and stuff on the side because they're fun and I like hard work, but they are hard work. Our positions that we take are in large, couple of hundred door at a time multifamily. You can't replace it for the cost that we're getting it for. You can't build, you damn sure can't build it today. We try to buy as smart as we can, and we go in with huge pots of money with lots and lots of partners. There's different stuff out there. If you guys are accredited investors, we could definitely fill you in, more on anything like that. But for most people, you're probably not going to be an accredited investor if you're watching this, in which case there are several different options. But man, I would say sticking it with your financial advisor, go in the safe route, listening to more Dave Ramsey than anything else will probably be y'all's safest bet, because there's too much wild shit out there.
Yeah, I would say that if you really want to be a risky person with $20,000 to $30,000, the two things that I can point you in that direction, there's a lot of work you're going to have to do on your own, would be to create your own RV park.
Oh, sure.
Or like mobile home park type
100%,
thing, because that you're just getting land.
If you're willing to work the shit out of it, great.
Land and connections, but you're going to need to figure a good area out. You're going to have to research zoning, find out if you can even do it there, all that stuff. That's one. The other one would be Section 8 housing. You again, this would really be if you lived near the place, because it would be much harder to do remotely, especially for your first one. But you can sometimes get Section 8 houses for under $100,000. So
You can,
you know,
still.
you put your down payment down.
Yeah,
on that.
with Section 8, I looked heavily into doing Section 8. I've got a good buddy that, or a very network, whatever. We're co-investors on a property. We got close for a period of time that does a ton of Section 8. And, yeah, don't be a skeevy person, right? I know, whatever. I know we're not.
Right.
Don't be skeevy. You're not preying on anybody. The shittier the place that you produce, the shittier the tenant you're going to have. There are plenty of people with plenty of reasons that need to be on that Section 8 program that basically will walk to you every month, well, digitally, and hand you a voucher for more money than you're probably going to get in the open market for a comparable product. That said, you know, make it nice, make it habitable, make it very, you know, make them want to stay there forever because the real benefit and why my guy does so well is like his tenants don't move.
Right.
I mean, he's had people in these houses. He bought the house with the tenant in it.
Right.
The tenant's been in there, you know, he's got one lady that has been in that property longer than he's alive. He's replaced roofs, or the previous guy, I guess, replaced roofs, like all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Lady's just been in there. Maybe, yeah. We could talk all day about milking the system or whatever the hell else, but like when you're on the receiving end of that paycheck, you ain't getting your taxes back. So I don't know. Section 8's great. You can do a lot of different type of stuff like that, man. You can do private storage. Flex space is something that I would do. I know you were looking at getting into flex space. I like flex space a lot because the cost to build a metal shell is cheap.
And rent for businesses are much more than rent for like customer private.
That's right. And there's always going to be types of businesses that you just can't do out of your house, or that you just can't, like, you know, in times of recessions, a lot of entrepreneurs are built because jobs are lost and people have to do what they have to do. But a lot of them bootstrap it like out of their house, and regulatory people are just going to make sure that you can't do certain types of things just out in the middle of a neighborhood. You're not going to work with hazardous gases or materials or anything like that. And so stonemasons, anybody that's loud as hell, any heavy equipment, anything, you got to put it somewhere. Flex space is always great. You can move the walls. But the reason Brad and I talk about real estate so much is if you can hold it, they ain't making any more of it. It's not duplicatable asset. The government can't go print more land. The more money they print, the more your land's going to cost, just because the value of money declines. But you're not necessarily going to make any money off of it unless you run the landlord game. And then if you run the landlord game, that is work. And then if you hand it off to a property manager, they take percentages. So what's your lifestyle look like? How little work do you want to do? It's a work pile and a money pile. The bigger the one, So.
Right. And I think that, like Adam said, the fact is there's not going to be more land. And a lot of times what you see is in areas that need major development, the developer will buy a piece of property and turn that into two houses on the same piece of property that only had one before. So
they're doing that.
They're just making it more and more dense in there. Are they
building?
Really
well, they're building those little
townhouses,
whatever, the single-story condos or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. They look nice. The neighborhood's pissed off.
But I mean, that's exactly how it is whenever in Houston, when you got closer to downtown, there was no house with a yard. Everything was duplex condos.
Dude, with the whole, we talked about it before, but like the Vision Pros and the chip in your head, dude, you just slide into a little pod. You're wherever the hell you want to be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be the way we're going to head. Just efficiency. It's the Matrix. We're literally heading towards the Matrix.
But I also think since we're talking about that, it's stupid to buy land in the metaverse because the metaverse, it has infinite
land. You can duplicate it.
And there should be like instantaneous transportation. Yeah. So when people were doing that back, 3 years ago, when that huge meta NFT thing was going on, people were buying like land in there. Yeah. That's when I knew that we were going to have a recession after that.
Yeah, y'all were getting reckless with money, and they were like, listen, nobody has any money for a while, okay? Y'all are spending it on dumb shit. You're buying pictures for $2,500 of an ape.
Or millions.
Or millions of dollars. No, y'all can't have money anymore. We're cutting it off for a little bit. So y'all messed it up. I didn't buy any of them dumb pictures. I know Brad didn't either. I did make some money on Bitcoin, though. Wish I would have bought some recently.
Yeah, every time I say that when Bitcoin drops, I'm like, I should buy some, and then I don't think about it until it's
I always hold Ethereum. I like Ethereum. Not much, not enough to really matter, but I used to hold more Bitcoin, and I like it, dude. It could be its own, man. With crypto, not all crypto, man. There's only a couple, y'all. Do your research. Don't go find some shit coin that somebody's posting about and invest in it. It's not investing. You're just giving them money.
A lot of people got in trouble for that. Like,
yeah, you're like literally, yo, go buy my coin. It's like, here, go buy. You want this? It's $2,500. But there's some technologies around, ETH and Bitcoin and stuff that make it very, very interesting. And it could be its own sector of the stock market just because the way it can hold. I mean, shit, dude, roll it into an asset class. They trade gold. I mean,
right.
I don't know.
No, I agree. I'm just looking at the questions again.
Yeah.
So someone said, how do you stay motivated every single day? And I think that for me, the answer is I'm not motivated every single day. I think there's a difference between motivation and discipline. And what most people rely on is to be motivated to do things. And that I feel like that's not even a realistic expectation. Discipline is what you have to rely on. And you build discipline by doing hard things that you don't want to do.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Like, I did not want to get into the cold plunge this morning. It was 40 outside. I could see my breath.
Yep.
I was like, I don't want to get into this cold plunge this morning.
Too fucking bad, boy. Time to go.
And I went and I got it.
Man, yeah. Well, we talked about the part of the brain that does that. That's huge.
Yeah. Anterior singular cortex.
And it lets you do it more and more. Twofold. One, exactly what Brad said. It's discipline over motivation. The second is, once you've attained something, it's easier to maintain it than it is to lose it and get it back.
Right.
Whether it be, think of physique, think bank, think saving money. Go blow it and then try to save it again versus like gradually
compounding it.
Yeah. Dude, I'm running at a level, I know you are too, I'm running at a level that like, I don't want to fucking stop. Like, I want to learn how to go harder. I want to learn how to do more. I joke all the time or whatever that like I don't really like sitting around anyways. But the folks that do, man, I know plenty of successful people that aren't fidgety and shit like me, but they're thinking about what to do. I move and think. I move and, my brain and everything else. But ADHD, But like, no, man. Like we use AI to respond to things so that we can do more, not less, it's being weirdly lazy in certain regards, but it's also allowing you to lean into the things that you're good at and you're good at things you like to do. Yeah. And then, so it's like, I don't really like doing that. Oh shit, something's going to do it. It's like building a business too.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think, like I said, motivation is fleeting and you won't always have it. And all you will have is your discipline. And that brings me to something I wanted to ask you about. I saw this video on Instagram. Okay. And this woman showed like a box of those like M&M sandwiches, the ice cream sandwiches, showed like 2 tubs of cotton candy and showed a bunch of empty candy wrappers. And she said, I bought this for my husband. And then in one night I ate it all. I'm addicted to sugar. And the comments were back and forth because she's a nutritionist also. Okay. So the comments were back and forth. And for me, I think that where I come from as someone who loves sugar, like, I love sweets.
Sure.
I don't think that you can be addicted to sugar. I think that what she has is a lack of willpower.
Yeah.
And obviously there's in my opinion, that's a binge eating disorder as well. That's like, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not going to give any advice.
There's psychological psychiatry factors there for sure. Yeah.
But like, I get that people want to say sugar's addictive. I disagree with that statement. There's people that I know that completely hate sweet food, but they would eat pounds of, like you would eat lasagna or, pho or fried chicken. I don't know.
Yeah. If I was going to binge, I usually overeat. But to touch on that, it can be twofold. Because you said the lady's a nutritionist and I don't know. And then on Instagram, there's a weird portrayal of like bodybuilding levels of leanness, especially in women, as like health. Because there's been a contrast too where like everybody's putting on a little too much weight and going like, I'm healthy. And I'm like, what? Whatever. The other one, the super skinny one, definitely not healthy, right? 100% lean, women, ab veins. I mean, if you like that, great. You can be healthy and have them.
Yeah, when you stop at getting a menstrual cycle.
There's a mental component of withholding or doing the thing that you don't want to do, right? So they're doing that. I guess I'm being really long-winded that when I used to be so critical about what I'd put in my body, like I wouldn't, da-da-da-da-da, then I would go eat some junk food. I would be like, I need that.
Yeah.
I need that. It's a dopamine surge that you're not used to. So when you're used to eating, and you probably felt it, like back bodybuilding
in contest
days.
prep, the worst I've ever eaten in my life was during contest
Same.
prep.
It was bad. I was eating foods I didn't want. Like I'd never, ever craved.
I would eat to the point that like I was in physical discomfort because my stomach was so distended.
Yeah. So you live it. So there's like another psychological component and probably physical component of like, all I eat is like high density, low calorie foods all day. That and this is not probably any of y'all, right? It's like 0% of the population, but might be that lady. I don't know what she looks like. I don't know. I'd have to see her. But if she is hella and critical and like everything, can't eat that, and that's her way of thinking throughout the week, then it's like a drug addict.
Yeah.
Or an alcoholic or something, to where like you and I, like, put two people in the same room, they might not have the same effect when they taste that alcohol. But no, there's not a real physical demon inside of you, like making you do anything. There's plenty of components of all of that that make it up. Without getting off, go ahead.
I was going to say, I always correlate that back to when people tell me, like, how do you not eat cookies every day? Yeah. And it's like, it's so available to me that I don't feel the desire to necessarily take it unless I want it. And I use that example with people. I say, hey, if I told you that you couldn't eat pizza anymore starting today, what are you craving already? Pizza. And they're like, pizza. Yep. And so I think there's this psychological aspect that when you demonize foods or you put foods on a pedestal or whatever, that kind of like when you open that door, everything comes out.
That's 100% right. So,
because then you're like, when's the next time I'm going to eat this pizza?
I would train people, man, with the gym for years, and they would come in and they would have this wild look on their face when the advice I would give them is just show up to class every day. Keep eating the way you've been eating. Keep your life the same. You're going to be working out. That's a new variable. We don't need to do all the variables.
Right.
But and then we will slowly and surely start whittling away at the diet or whatever. But people want to come in. They want to fail is what they want to do.
They want to change everything.
Because they want to fail.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, really, Gladys? You about to pop off again January 1, huh? January 1, you only drinking water and eating raspberries? That's it? That's the diet, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, January 2, you failed.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, I always say that too. When you're setting New Year's resolutions, if you don't ever go to the gym, don't expect to go to the gym even 4 or 5 times a week because you weren't used to devoting 4 to 5 hours to this gym thing. And now you've got to find that 4 to 5
Dude,
hours.
I've bet grown men and won that they wouldn't like, hey man, I'm trying to get like you, what should I do? 10 push-ups twice a week. What? I'm like, do whatever else you want, but do 10 push-ups twice a week. How many weeks you think go by before they forgot?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't set. I do push-ups when I'm bored. Maybe that's beaten from the army, but like, dude, I'll be sitting there and Liam, do push-ups with me.
Yeah,
do the deck of cards.
I've seen him air squatting on airplanes.
Yeah, doing deck of card drills or just moving around, man. I get bored. I want to play around, move my body, so.
No, so yeah, I guess this is a twofold conversation. But again, you're not always going to be motivated. That's where discipline comes into play. I think there's also some things you can say about, go back to why you're doing what you're doing. A lot of times, you're motivated because you have a why. So revisit your why and see if that still pertains, And
I would say just one more thing too. And like, whatever, I know it's like narcissistic to say, but everyone will agree with this. You'll feel better than other people. Like, it just like, man, if you're feeling down about yourself, get up earlier than other people. Everybody wants to go, oh, I want to sleep. Get up early. See what happens. Make your bed. See what happens. Make your bed before they're out of theirs. Go to the gym. You can be as out of shape as you want to. You went, or not you want to, as out of shape as wherever you're starting. You went to the gym today. They didn't.
Yeah.
Read
better.
a few pages of a book. Read a bunch of pages of a book. I mean, live your life, but like read a few pages of a book. Then it's like, hey, when's the last time you read a book? Most people are going to tell you, been a while. You can do little systematic things, man. You know, I saw you playing Sudoku, whatever. We were on the plane. Little brain sharpener. Most people don't. It's crazy. I do crossword puzzles. I like those. Crazy.
Yeah.
So you can just do something just purely, and you're not doing it purely for the narcissistic, but like you want to feel better about yourself if you walk through life, if you don't really like where you are, man, like exercise, little mental, little work on your mental acumen, if you will, whatever, read some stuff, sharpen your brain, sharpen your body. Dude, you've already done more than everybody, Yeah, you'll feel better about yourself. And then you'll want to keep doing that.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I think that there's when you see yourself improving too, which you're not going to see it after the first day.
Nope.
But when you first get that compliment, like the other day, I actually told Lacey, I was like, hey, you lost some weight, haven't you? You look
bunch.
Yeah, and
She
she's
looks
like
great.
40 pounds. And I was
She
like,
looks
wow,
great.
I'm so impressed. But honestly, the truth is, yes, it's winter, so she's wearing baggier clothes than what I see her in normally.
Yeah.
But the truth is, it takes a lot more for other people to notice a difference in you.
It
You
does.
will notice a difference quicker than they will.
Absolutely.
However, the moment they start noticing and you get those compliments, it is very reaffirming, about what you're doing.
Well, we talked about that on the podcast too, man. Like, you're broke, you don't like where your life's at, you're whatever, man. Get in better shape. If you want to get some compliments, drop some weight.
Yeah.
And people are gonna go, what are you doing? You look great.
Yeah.
Like,
ironically, for fitness, it seems like people will compliment you. However, what I want to say is anytime that you're successful and you push past boundaries and you excel outside of what other people feel like you should excel out of, you are going to have a lot of unhappy people. Yep. It's because it's only unhappy people. And I'm telling you 100%, it's only unhappy people that are going to have something to say about you, about what you're doing. And some of it may be true, and some of it may be just so made up in their minds. And I just wanted to bring that to your attention because, I know we're talking about fitness here, but in other areas of your life, if you start to excel, you start to do better, there will be people that try to tear you down because they don't want to see. It makes them feel bad that they're not doing what you're doing, and so they want to pull you back in.
that's it. Yeah, man. Well, so, and to take it even further, man, a lot of times it's your loved ones and those that are close to you. It's a reminder to them, right? So when they're like, hey, Adam was, we were here. And now I'm not over there being like, oh, I'm better than you. But for whatever reason, you think I'm here now, whatever you're measuring me on. I'm way down here. You can't even see where I feel like I am. That kind of a trend of people who are ambitious a lot of times with counseling. They're like, I'm not doing well enough. I'm suck. But so, yeah, they'll go like, oh, you must, or oh, and they try to weaponize it against you. But to me, it comes back and is motivating because they're just like, oh, I just enjoy my sleep. I'm like, okay, pussy, like, fuck, sleep it up then, dog.
Yeah.
Enjoy your sleep. I like getting after it and making money. Or whatever it is, like, oh, you work too much, or you're always talking about work, or you're always thinking about work. What am I supposed to think about? What you want to talk about?
Well, I'm always working or thinking about work compared to what you believe is the reality. But it's like people put you in this box, and then when you operate outside of that box, they freak out.
No, here's what happens, right? We go from talking, and you and I are great about it. We talk big ideas. Big-minded people like talk about big ideas and stuff like that. It's also how you can assess your circle pretty quickly. So we go from, oh, Adam, all you want to think about is work or this or the next this. Okay, cool. What do y'all want to talk about? Whether or not I ask that question, here's what it turns into. Let's complain about every fucking thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, have you been here lately? It's so expensive. Have you done? It's so expensive. And I'm like, That's why I'm trying to get that bag, dog. That's why I want to be thinking about that. I don't want to think, like, so I'm a little bougie. I like nice, you take nice vacations too. I want to work my tail off, and then I want to enjoy my tail off, and then I want to go right back to it because I don't know what the middle ground is.
Yeah.
Sitting around watching Netflix.
Well, I think that, everyone has their perception, and, this is something that the Hermosis talk about a lot, is just like, that there is no, like, I like work, so I'm going to keep working, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, if you think that's weird, then that's fine that you
I'm
think it's
bored.
weird, but it's me.
I don't want to watch this show for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
So even if my wife does, like, okay, boop, I'm going to look up something, work on something, I'm going to brainstorm something. And, there's levels to work, too, because sometimes you're just really, you're a creative person. Even when it's not, like, let's say, cookie related, it's Fat and Weird cookie related. I mean, it's like it's something, or it's something Greater Brad or Greater Adam that's like, oh, okay. Yeah. I don't have anything to do with this yet, but I file that. I'm going to remember that,
Well, yeah. And, again, to expound on that, when Aubrey and I first started social media, no one talked crap about us. And then as we start to grow, our friends started talking crap. We lost a lot of friends, which I think I've talked about that before. Yep. The people that, people writing that post. Then, though, after that, once you built up a certain size following or a status, if you will, then people on the internet have an opinion about you. Yeah. And that's when, the Reddit threads or whatever started about
they fell off, or
and it's funny, a lot of them, it's like they're just waiting for someone for you to fail so that they can like try to rub it in. But the point is, like, I would much rather go out after something and fail than to not.
Dude, I'll fail a million times before I fucking just sit around and be a little weirdo on the internet making fun of other people for trying.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, what are you trying at? What are you trying to do?
Yeah.
Okay. And see, we confuse when we talk about it. We confuse the person that's running around claiming they gonna do this, that, and the third, like, and maybe way beyond their means. Like, if I'm like, Brad, I got this idea, bro, I'm developing Mars. You'd be like,
yeah.
If you came at me with an apartment complex, I'd have listened to you. Mars, you gotta, right?
Yeah. I have some friends that have like grandiose visions,
I do
right?
too, bro. Yeah, we're taking over the crypto space. Are you in? No. like sounds illegal. Yeah, so there's a difference between the people that are talking all the time and then, like, because I got that thrown in my face that I was like that type of way, but it's like, nope. I started every single business I said I was going to. I was like, damn, there's a lot of money in fried chicken. Boop, Right. We had the gym going for a long time. People were like, what do you know? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, I don't know, man. I'm going to learn.
Yeah.
Got pretty good at that. Did that. What do you know about landscaping? That I am driving around in the state of Florida and everything is commercially available. Florida is trying to take back over, right? During the summertime, the weeds and the grasses and the trees and everything. So I just was driving around going, wow, there's a lot of money. And there was. And so, yeah, but I was also kind of maybe underachieving a little bit at that time too, because like, even though they were big goals, looking back on them, it was like, my goals now are so much bigger.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, It's just like, had I started that, but it gave me the experience. It gave me the belief in myself now too. You know what I mean? It's like, I at least can do this. I know it. I've done it now, blah, blah, blah. So it makes the higher stuff a little easier.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think that the biggest takeaway I have, or I guess the biggest thing I want you to take away from this is you should always improve yourself. Oh, yeah. And regardless of what other people have to say, there will be people that compliment you. You will still have friends as you excel that will cheer you on. Adam was that way with me. Yep. We talked a lot when he was doing the Slim Chickens. I was like super pumped for him. Whenever we had like a record-breaking year with Fat and Weird and we were building this building, he came over and saw it, and he was one of the few friends that was like truly excited for everything that we were doing here. So you will still have people.
all that dirt when Jimmy couldn't get the dirt delivery or whatever.
Yeah, and so, but, I say that to just say that, like, not everyone's going to try to tear you down, but there will be unhappy people that will try to tear you down.
Yeah. Well, and to touch on that, like we were friends, but like maybe didn't know it. And I don't know how to say it. I know we're very close friends now. We were very friendly. We were friends.
Right.
We didn't hang out a lot.
No.
See each other at the gym, talk to each other online, text, but it's your pals, like you. So I would say that like even folks that like, I don't even know who to pick. Like Matt Andrews or one of those types of guys, man, like we kind of gotten closer as we've progressed in our entrepreneurial, even though we never see each other. I haven't seen the dude in months, but like he knows, vice versa. Hey man, I need something or da da da.
Right.
That's the way I wish all friendships were, anyways. Because it's like, dude, I'm a grown man with kids and a wife and a life and other family. Wish we could just like run into people and be like, cool, we're friends. And
that's what that Layla Hormozy posted the other day is like, friends are an exchange. Yeah. And the exchange is sometimes services. There's sometimes entertainment. There's so a friend really is someone that you have an exchange with, because, everyone's been a part of a one-side friendship where they feel like they give, and the other person just takes. Yeah. But a true friendship, and it doesn't have to be like I give you this and you give me that, there's things there, but I think there is this true friendship about like, if you called me, I would do whatever. If I called you and you'll do whatever.
I saw this video. It's this guy. I need to learn his name. It's old-timey video. It's back in the day. Looks like maybe shot in the 70s. Weird inflection. A lot of his videos are religious, but this one was about like friendships. I don't know. It resonated with me. And he was like, we basically, paraphrasing, but instinctively, we all kind of like hold each other back. We think we're going like, it's dangerous out there. Be safe. But we're really crabs in the bucket. We're going like, stay down here where it's dangerous. He's like, but like, what if, and he was talking to himself. He's like, what if I became 50 times more interesting, 50 times stronger, 50 times more powerful, 50 times wealthier? Wouldn't that be cool for our friendship? Now, what if you did that? What if I did it and then I helped you do it, and then you helped our other friend do it? And it's like, oh, damn. But we don't. We hold each other down. Eventually, folks break free, and they're like, I can't be near y'all.
Right.
And you can't. And you can't. It's like, that's why I always praise, whatever white guy talking about other races, but like ethnic cultures, especially Asian ethnic cultures, they do a great job on par, better than white Americans that I've grown up around, my own empirical data, at going like, cool, we're immigrating here and we're starting a business, and everybody is going to hold some kind of role in that business while they, go to school and do this. And like, you can go to school and work at the damn family business. And they just, whatever. There are two Indian families. They were my neighbors. I know them personally. They own a ton of gas stations around the area. And I would talk to them all the time, because I would see like, normally at the weird hours, I'd see some kid in there being a terrible gas station attendant, but like, nose deep in a math book, college math book, going like, oh, dang, okay. They're taking some advanced classes. They're working their shift. And you'll see, dude, a lot of times, and this is even older. We talked about this morning about the 3 generations, but in 3 generations, you should be able to take over anything.
Yeah, you can build a workforce if you really.
You can build a huge workforce, but what you can really do is come over here, bear the stress. Think about like kind of the stress or the position, you were in when you were like younger and your family was kind of starting the business. Yeah. And now where is it? Right. And now how many, kids and grandkids, and like you're doing all the kids are making moves, and to where, everybody's got plans, they could sell it or it could stay or it could do whatever. And then you got, so like, the 3rd generation, I guess it's by the 3rd generation, it's like everything else changes. So it's like, what's Letty's kid's life going to be like? Yeah. Different. Yeah. I'm kind of the 1st generation here. So like, dude, my grandkids, great grandkids' lives are going to be very different. So it's like, it's weird to think about, but it's worked. Yeah. But we don't, because, well, that, you can go off into a bunch of other reasons, but like the number one phrase, don't do business with family. Yeah. The greatest houses in the world, dude.
The Rockefellers, you know.
All of the big boys are all
family
Disney, stuff. Walmart. Like, pick one. Yeah. Okay. No, y'all don't do business with family. We don't want y'all getting powerful out here. Even what's that show? I've never seen it, but like the
Kardashians.
Ranch. No, the ranch.
Oh, Yellowstone?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a family.
I was gonna say the Kardashians are family too.
Oh, well, there you go.
Powerhouse.
Powerhouse, but like that's a ranch. It's typically owned and managed by some big powerhouse family.
Right. Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's how like Aubrey will go Montana, just ranches everywhere, and just
you're like,
you know.
And McLeod.
Like, well, I asked her what she was.
Dang,
she was
McLeods.
She was dating a guy, and she's like, if I would have stayed dating him and ended up marrying him, she's like, I would have been a ranch wife, and like. She's like, my life would be completely different than it is right now here.
Lamb, you'd have weak cookies. You'd be like, well, I'm not going to make fun of her. But that lady my wife watches her. I can't even think. The cooking show lady with the.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I don't know her name.
She's like, my boys are working in the field, so I'm going to make them basically Thanksgiving for lunch. And it's just like,
yeah, she always
golly.
She always makes these insane meals for them, and then they come
asleep.
in. And yeah. Well, I don't think that weather is so brutal out there. You ain't going to fall asleep. But last question we got asked is about cruises, which I know you're not a huge fan of cruises. I heard, though, that you spend a lot of time at the craps table.
I do. I love craps. I do.
So,
I like craps, and I really enjoy. I actually would say that overall, I really like cruises from the aspect of you can get. I'm an inquisitive person. I ask a lot of questions. I like to meet people. I like to talk to people. So I know I'm on first name basis with the staff. I could give a shit about the people that are on the cruise. I like because you'd be like, you're from where? And then France, Namibia, like Zimbabwe, places all over the world. And you're like, tell me about your life.
Yeah.
And like they love it. Most people don't ask them, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, this is amazing. Like, well, how'd you get here? Da da da. What do you do?
Yeah.
And then on the craps table too, on cruises. Craps is very superstitious. People are very weird about craps. I'm not. I'm there to play, have a good time. I call it like an adult arcade. I bring money to lose. I don't care. If I win a bunch of money, it just means I'm in the casino longer until I lose that money, usually, But on the casinos, man, they're so helpful. It's like, kind of probably designed for old people. It's not like there's always old people there, but like, be like, here, help me bet, like whatever. So, it was how I got into craps.
Okay.
And now I play wherever. But
yeah, I would say I don't know anything about
you
craps,
wave your hand wrong. You like you turn wrong. People are like, oh, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
But talking about that, I have 2 cruise lines I would recommend: Norwegian and Royal Caribbean.
Yep.
And the reason about Norwegian is Norwegian actually has some really, really cool ships that have go-kart tracks on them, laser tag, these really crazy spas. So I've always had a really great time on Norwegian cruises. They have a suite area called the Haven that's just for sweet people and has its own little like gym and pool and all that stuff. So Norwegian, I would look into those ships. Obviously, find the ships that have the go-karts and the laser tag.
Or whatever you're into.
And then Royal Caribbean, obviously any of the Oasis class ships are the big ones, or the new ones like Icon and I think Utopia is coming out soon, that are like their newest ships. They look insane. The newest ones.
One of them looks like they did a superimpose of like the Titanic next to it, and it looked like a dinghy.
Oh yeah.
It was like, holy.
These
where like the top is like, it's got like they keep showing the backside where like slides and stuff are, but it like, I'm like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going to tip over.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that thinking about the fact that like my first cruise was probably when I was like 5, I don't know. Yeah. So 30 years ago. To now, the cruise ships vastly different.
Oh yeah.
Vastly different.
Carnival's still rocking them ones you went on before or whatever.
Yeah, my parents talked about that. The Carnival like holiday or something. They had an opportunity to go on again like 25 years later, 30 years later. So, but anyways, yeah, it's night and day difference. But yeah, Royal Caribbean, love Royal Caribbean. I think that there's a lot of fun stuff to do. The food is usually really good. Norwegian, I think, actually has better food. But both of those are nice cruises, big ships, tons to do on there. Even for someone like you, I feel like you'd have enough to wander around and do,
Yeah.
So
if you're young and single or whatever, don't have kids, you can always check out Yacht Week Super cool. It's a little on the pricey side, but you go in with groups of people, and they're not like movie star yachts, but they're yachts. They're big. They all sleep you, but you'll basically puddle hop or island hop.
Oh, okay.
Then link up, and there's big things. We were going to the one in Greece. We booked everything, and then we had something come up. I had to go back overseas, so it sucked.
Yeah.
We didn't get to go to it, but my buddies all got to, and it was pretty cool. Then we linked up with them down in outside Cozumel. They have them all over the place, so you can go wherever you're looking to go. But the one in Mexico was super cool. We met on my buddy's big ass like sport fish boat. So he was the only one with the sport fish. The rest were like, there's a ton of catamarans and. Anyways, I don't know. It was cool.
Yeah,
they do a good job.
The only thing I've ever had friends do is like go to like Greece and like rent a boat, and then they'll take it around and go to different places.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. So I didn't get to go to Greece, so I've never been there. But damn, I paid for it. Sucks. Well, I was making good money at that time. I didn't worry about it.
Well, you know, hopefully in a couple of years you can.
Yeah, boy.
Do that
head
trip.
back to Santorini.
So
we want to go to Georgia. Y'all definitely need to come. The country of Georgia. We want to go over to Tbilisi. Check it out.
Yeah, I mean, Aubrey and I have done a lot of exploring in the U.S. I mean, we've been to a ton of states in the U.S. And then outside the country, it's mainly just been like Caribbean, and then that one trip to Germany for the FIBO Expo. Yep. So we want to do. I really want to take Aubrey to Hawaii. I know it's still in the U.S. But,
still.
She hasn't ever been to Hawaii, and I think that'd be really fun to do. And then my bucket list, I've always wanted to go to Japan.
Cool. I'll meet you over there. I've never been there. I like Japan. I mean, I've not been there, but I like the idea. I want to go all through, more specifically, like South Pacific Asia, but I'll definitely check out Japan and stuff, mainly because manufacturing opportunities and stuff like that, cost disparity, there's still a lot of opportunity. I think Vietnam's going to blow up with imports.
I just want some really good sushi, you know?
Yeah, oh, yeah, Japan. I had sushi in Amsterdam, and supposedly the sushi chef was like the guy or one of the guys. So anyways, I don't know. I don't remember his name. The fancy,
the artistry,
when you're used to what they pack into the rolls in the Southeast, you know, versus that, it's just very plain, so it's very good, but it's like a piece of fish over rice with like a lemon.
Yeah, we used to go to this all-you-can-eat place in Houston. I think it was like $25, and like I literally ate like 11 rolls one time.
Yeah, dude.
Just did this.
We would
stuff
go
in
every
myself.
Sunday. We would do strongman training, and then go and like. Yeah, I just wanted to hurt their bottom line. That's basically all I wanted to do. Hurt myself and hurt their bottom line.
That's how I feel about any all-you-can-eat buffet. It's like a personal challenge to make sure I get my money's worth, and that's why I don't eat at buffets, because I just want to eat until I got my money's worth.
Yeah, it's a symbol. It's like, again, one of those things that like, I try not to do. I mean, look, I'm not opposed to it. We've gone to like hot pots and different kinds of stuff where they are buffets, and I don't have a problem with it. I'm not trying to be condescending, but again, it's one of those things where you can feel better than all the people eating at the all-you-can-eat buffet by just not eating at the all-you-can-eat buffet.
Right, not doing the all-you-can-eat. Yeah.
Go to Ruby Tuesdays, get the salad bar.
Well, I think that pretty much wraps us up, unless there's anything you wanted to touch on, because we're about 50 minutes in. We're like a 45-minute podcasting group. You know, we don't really push it beyond that. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode of In the Oven. You're worth it. Do hard shit.